So anyway, here I am. I'm going to prance around, and I'm going to talk to you guys today about health. Because while you create your vision, the bottom line is if you don't have your health, you have nothing. Nothing. You can do nothing without your health. So just embrace that for a minute because it's powerful. And a lot of the times when we're creating this vision for ourselves and we're thinking about what we want in our life, we don't think about the what if I'm not healthy? What if? And I was super awesomely stoked to see how many people went to that morning session this morning. I was actually finishing my shower in the pool because we had like scalding hot water and nothing but this morning in my room. So I had a hair full of shampoo and I'm standing there getting burned from every angle. So it wasn't me. I know how to work the faucet. Anyway, long story short, I was in the pool getting the shampoo out of my hair. Yeah. And I still have baby vomit all over me. So if any of you meet up with me or my husband during the day, just sorry about that. It's been a crazy morning. So anyway, back to fitness. 3 things I want to start with before I actually get going away on the clicker. First of all, balance. So much of this seminar, we're going to be talking about the balance of finances, the balance of emotion, the balance of everything in life. I want to talk to you and do something that's going to get you physically balanced. So I want everybody to stand up. You can keep your stuff in your hands or put it in your chair. Just stand up. Now just lift one leg. Just lift one leg and hold it. Lift one leg up and balance. Hold it. Don't put that foot down no matter what. I don't care what you have to do. Balance. Balance. I've seen a lot of wobbling out there. Okay, now put that foot down. Now I want you to stand nice and grounded. I want you to take your scapula, your shoulder blades here, and pull them down and back in together. And I want you to take a deep breath. Breathe up. And exhale. One more time. Breathe up. And exhale. Now again, roll those shoulders to the back, tighten the core, shift the weight, and now balance. Hell of a lot less wobbling out there. That's how you physically balance yourself. And apply that to everything you do. You can put your foot down. You guys are just going to stand there all day. You're like, yes, I got it. So no, stay standing. Stay standing. I did not say sit down. You got a trainer here. Look out. I'll make you do like 10 laps. So that's one thing you want to think about. And as I'm looking around the room, I'm sitting over there and I'm watching everybody sit in their chairs. And you guys are just like, be alive, sit up. This is your core. This embraces your heart, your lungs, all your everything that keeps you alive is right here in the center. So sit up, will ya? Just for me, please? It's painful for me if you're not. Okay, now, by a show of hands, how many of you have said, I'm going to start a regular workout routine. Every single day I'm going to do something physically active. Oh, come on, that's it? I know all of you are thinking, yeah, I secretly wish I was that person that got up at 5 and jogged every morning. We all want to be that person. Now, how many of you have actually done that? We got a couple. All right, well, for those of you that do that, kudos to you. For the rest of you, I'm going to get you started right now. All right? So, we are going to do 20 squats. And I want to hear you guys count them out loud. We're just going to sit down, stand up in your chair. You don't have to sit all the way down. Just sit down, stand up. And if you can't sit down and stand up, just raise your arms up and down. Because if you have a body part that doesn't work, I see one over here, that's all right. I'll find something else on your body to work, okay? So here we go. We're going to count out loud together. 20 of them. Ready? And go. 1. 2, 3. By the way, if it's not loud enough, I'll have you do it again. 5. There we go. 6. 7. Come on, I want more. 8. Wake up. Give me 9. Halfway done. 11. 12. Keep going. This is your morning session, guys. 14. 15. Good. You got 5 more. 17. 18. 19. 20. Awesome. Have a seat. Yes. How good do you feel? I mean, honestly, how good does it feel to just move your body? And I tell you what, as I'm looking at you over here, what's your name? Carla. Okay. I busted my Achilles tendon a while ago, and I couldn't walk. And I thought to myself, I hated to run, but dadgummit, as soon as I got out of that walking cast, I was a running fool. I was like forced. I was like, I can run. And it felt so good. So if there's ever a moment where you think, you know what, God, I don't want to work out, just think to yourself, what if you couldn't work out? What if you physically couldn't work out? How bad would that suck? I mean, really. So, even if you have a cast on your leg, or even if you have an ache or a pain or back or something, find something that works on your body and work it. Okay? So, now, my third thing. How many of you guys in here can do 100 push-ups? I like it. This is the first time I heard some buzz out there as to what I'm getting at. Every single one of you in this room can do 100 push-ups. I don't care if you do them one at a time. I don't care if you do them half at a time. I don't care if you do them up against a wall. Example, here's a push-up. Sorry about the butt shot. All right, there's a push-up. Everybody can do 100 of those. Okay, here's the next level. Watch this table collapse under me. That would have been awesome. Okay, so there's another way. So that's the way I want you to think throughout this entire presentation. Every single one of you can do 100 push-ups. It's about starting with one. Okay? So tonight, before you go to bed, do me a favor. Just do at least one push-up. Tomorrow, do 2. And then when I see you in Mexico, I want to see 100. Okay? Okay, so on to the presentation. This is where I start the clicker. How does this thing work? Yay, okay. So in a nutshell, what I'm going to talk about in this hour is who I am and what the heck do I know, why bother, my philosophy, and taking action, my 5 Ps and 5 keys to getting fit. Because even though it's probably stuff you already know, it's a pretty healthy crowd, it's always good to have a little nag, as I say. So the difference between winning and losing is most often not quitting. Ironically, what got me started in my entire career was quitting. And let me explain. When I went to college, I was just a typical college girl, had no clue what I wanted to do for a living. No idea. I wanted to be a veterinarian one day. I wanted to be something else the next. So I thought, well, my dad's a pilot. That's cool. My mom was a nurse. I didn't want to do that. So I was like, I'll go with what Dad did. So I just needed to get a degree. I didn't care what the heck I got it in. Underwater basket weaving, sign me up. So I ended up getting my degree in something I was passionate about, which was human development and nutrition. Didn't care about anything else. I was like, I'm just going to go to school, get my degree, and meanwhile, I took flying classes at the Air Force Academy. So here was me in my little ponytail with all these, Air Force cadets. And I was just bopping around getting my license and spent a lot of time flying. Every free second I had, I dedicated to flying. It was straight and narrow. This is what I was going to do. I was going to be a pilot. So I thought, okay, I'll be a fighter pilot. That was what my dad was, and then he flew for United. I was like, that'll be awesome. And then I went and got my eyes checked. One nearsighted, one farsighted. They were like, no, it's not for you. I was like, oh, crap, okay. Now I'm back in the big, heavy taxi in the sky called the airlines. And I thought, no, I'll fly Learjets. It's fast, it's awesome. I'll go cool places. So that was where I was headed. I was going to fly Learjets for a living. So I graduated college. Long story short, I was sitting in my apartment one day, very small little apartment, and something clicked in me. And I don't know, maybe it was an early midlife crisis, but I panicked. And I was like, this isn't what I want to do. This isn't what I do. What I want to do. Oh, my God, I don't know what I want to do. And I woke up the next morning. I called my dad, and I said, I quit. And he went, you what? Any of you guys have kids in college? It's a pretty young crew. Some of you do. Okay, you can imagine how that made them feel. My dad had spent thousands of dollars on flight school, God knows how much in college, and his daughter was just like, I quit. Done. That's it. Overnight. And I'm not really that crazy. I mean, usually I stick to something, but overnight I quit. And in that decision time, and I thought, what am I going to do with my life? It was, it was kind of chunky, had acne, I was just like, I don't know what to do with my life. So I went and I worked at a gym across the street because it was across the street. I didn't have a car. I thought, okay, I can walk there. So I was the front desk girl at World's Gym. And while I was working, a trainer offered to train me. And I was like, whatever, I teach aerobics, and I'm fat. I was just fat and just thick everywhere. And eating like nutrition bars, those protein bars, the ones that are packed full of a bunch of crap that you can't even read the ingredients. Just eating those every day. I'm like, yeah, I'm healthy. Not drinking any water, teaching aerobics, and just getting fatter, working at a gym. Life was awesome. Yeah, right? We've all been there at some time in our life. Please tell me you have. So the trainer offered to train me, and I thought, whatever, you just want my money, dude. And I remember it was $500 for 3 months of training. And he said, I'm working with a girl now. That's half price. She needs a training partner, and, you could be amazing. And I hid underneath my ball cap every day, and I was like, what does this guy know about me? I don't think I've ever even made eye contact with him. And something again in me clicked, and I wrote a check. That was my rent check. I did not have $500, but something in me said, do it. So I did, and needless to say, it changed my life. It was unbelievable. My body changed, my mind changed. I felt like a different person, and I felt like I had control over something in my life. I mean, let's face it, we can't control very many things, but we sure the hell can control what we put in our mouth and how much we move our body. It's unbelievable. 2 things, total control. But yet so many people just toss it aside. And so through this process of learning, I went on and I trained people, and I was doing stuff. I got promoted to sales in the gym, and I sucked at sales because I didn't want to be a salesperson. I wanted to be on the floor teaching people what this trainer had taught me. I wanted to give that back to people. I'd see other people struggle, and I'm like, if they would just do this or just do that. Just constantly on the floor. So the gym owner said, Kim, get out of here. Go to the National Academy of Sports Medicine. I will pay for you to go to this school and get certified and come back and be a personal trainer. I was like, awesome. So I went to the National Academy of Sports Medicine, and that's where it all started. I traveled all over the world training people. I decided to do fitness competitions because I needed a goal. We always have goals in school. We have tests. We have this. But when you get out, what do you it's like it's all up to you to set your own goals. And I needed a deadline. I needed something to say, this is the day you're going to kick ass. And I was like, okay. So I signed up to do what they call the Miss Galaxy Fitness Competition. And it was all kinds of obstacle course stuff, cargo nets, walls. It was just full-up military-style kick-ass obstacle course. And I was like, I could do that. And the other half was, standing there being all pretty and whatnot. And I would look at all the girls that were competing, and the ones that would kick butt on the obstacle course were like these big butch chicks. And then the ones that would look good in the bikini part couldn't do the obstacle course. And I was like, if I could be the fastest on the course and I could get my butt smaller than everybody else's on that stage, I think I could do a chance. So I signed up for the Miss Galaxy, not the Miss America, nothing small. I went full up Galaxy. Everybody's like, you're crazy. Well, it took me 3 years, but I won the doggone thing. Point being, thank you. I should ask if I could brag a little bit, but it wasn't that big of a deal. But I made it a big deal. You should have seen me. I walked into every magazine and was like, hi, I'm Miss Galaxy, and I would like to do this, this, and this. And they'd be like, all right, and I made it a big deal. I made it to something that I was like, I did it, and I'm going to use this as a huge launch pad to just take off. So I did. And I became a great fitness model, and it still wasn't enough. I was like, I need more. I'm tired of just being the bimbo in the pictures. So I kept educating myself. I kept getting, different certifications. I went on to be an IFBB Pro fitness professional and did all these great things. And then I busted my Achilles tendon. And my world came to a shattering stop. I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do now? What's next? Oh, I forgot the clicker. Anyway, I found my passion, confidence, and knowledge competing. That was that slide. So, it's like after I busted my Achilles tendon, I thought, what am I going to do next? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I thought, okay, well, I'm going to write for the magazines. I can write these articles. And I sat there with my cast on, and I made up exercises in my living room. And they were cool exercises. There's a lot you can do while you're, with just one leg. So I started to write, and I started to do more and more of that, which led to me writing a book eventually. So all these little things that came up really kind of sculpted me. So then I went through life, and literally, when people asked me what I was doing, I was like, oh, I'm just a trainer. I'm just a trainer. It was just a pastime for me. It wasn't what I was doing for a career. I still just didn't know what I was going to do. It was just a hobby. I trained people for free. I changed people all the time. I went in there, I worked their routines, I did their nutrition for free because I was just a trainer. So bottom line, if there's a will, there's a way. And I found that way for everybody. So many people would come to me and be like, oh, I can't work out, I can't do this, I can't do that. And I'm like, no, let me show you how, because I got all those problems too, and I can do all these things, and look what I've done. So then there was the big day, as I call it, the chosen one. I got this call, literally sitting there in my stinky little apartment in Hermosa Beach, California. And it was just a tiny little place. And it was somebody from NBC casting. And they were like, yeah, we've got a casting call. We'd like you to come. My first impression was, how the hell did they get my number? And why do they know who I am? But it was because of that exposure that I had in the magazines and the writing and all these little things that I did that I made big that they knew of me. So I was feeling awesome. I was like, yes, this is great. So I, do my little workout, get all pumped up. We have this thing called the sand dune. I don't know if anybody lives in South Bay in California, but there's this thing called the sand dune. It's this huge sand dune. So that was my workout for the day. So I went into my audition, and it was kind of sandy. I'm a trainer, right? That's what I do. So I didn't think to get dressed up. I mean, I would get a ponytail, sandal over me, and I walk into the casting offices, and there were 750 other trainers there. 750 other people with their managers and their agents. And then there was me, and I'm like, since when do trainers have managers and agents? It was the weirdest thing to me. And they all have like their matching little outfits on. I was just like, oh my God, I'm out of here. The only thing I had going for me that made me different was I was 3 weeks out of a competition, and I was shredded. I mean, shredded. There was not a chick in that room that could have kicked my ass. Not one. And I was like, come on, you see the six-pack? Take that. So I was pretty excited about that. I was like, it made me a little bit unique. So that was the only thing that gave me the confidence to stay there in a room full of Hollywood trainers. Ooh. So I went through this long audition process, and my dad's kind of a pessimist. He's kind of the kind of person that doesn't really believe it till it happens. It's kind of in me. Can't really help it. It's just been installed in there somehow in the DNA. So I was like, I'm never going to get this job, whatever, and I just kind of had not a bad attitude, but I didn't want to get too excited. Then I got the call one day, and they said, well, we're down to 3, and we need you to go meet the head dogs at NBC. Okay, I got a new outfit for that. I cleaned up. I didn't go in my sweaty clothes. And it hit me as I'm standing there in the top corner office at NBC, and I'm looking out the window, and there's the Hollywood sign, and I'm like, holy shit, this guy's got to be somebody important. I mean, he's got like the biggest office at the NBC building. And everybody's like, okay, you don't know who this is? And I had an escort, a girl from the casting office. She goes, now, keep in mind, his name is Ben Silverman. He's like, he's not going to spend a lot of time with you. He'll probably just shoo you in, shoo you out. Don't feel offended. That's just the way he works. And I was like, okay, I'm real nervous, and I go in. I was in there for an hour, just shooting the shit with the guy. He was so cool. We're doing crunches on the floor. I'm showing him all this stuff. And it wasn't like an interview at all. We just had a good time because I had nothing to lose. I mean, really, come on. I wasn't going to get the job anyway. So it was Friday night, and I got this call, and they were like, congratulations, you got the job. You're the new trainer on The Biggest Loser. And it was season 3. Jillian Michaels, I'm sure you guys know her. You can't help it if you're on the internet. She was the trainer before, and now they were going to hire me. And I was like, wow, this is so cool. So they're like, we need you to call up your agent, and we're going to send over the paperwork. And I was like, oh my God, I don't have one. And they're like, you don't have an agent? It's like, no, I'm a trainer. What do trainers do with agents? Okay. Most I've done is I was a background girl in an infomercial doing crunches for like 8 hours straight. Yeah, feel sorry for those people. Next time you see an infomercial, just know that those people in the background that are doing like whatever it is they're doing, they've been doing that for like 8 to 10 hours, okay? It sucks. For $500 a day, and that was a lot, okay? That's a lot to be, oh, whoa, they should have paid me millions to do that. Yeah, crazy. So, where was I? So I get on the phone, and they refer me to an agent, and I sit in the chair. It's Saturday. I'm like, yes! And I'm signing all the papers. I mean, we're talking like this. I'm so much paperwork. I'm just signing. I'm not even reading. I'm just signing. I'm just like, I got the job, yeah! And so I go through this whole thing, and then Sunday I had a pizza party with my girlfriends because I didn't have to compete anymore, so I'm going to eat some pizza, right? So we had this pizza party. Sunday night, I'm not exaggerating, 11:30 at night, the phone rings. And of course I get it because I'm thinking somebody died in the family. And I pick up the phone, and I told my parents all about everything, and I was so excited. And it's NBC. And we're sorry, things fell through with the contract, and you're not starting tomorrow. We're sticking with the original trainer. And I was just like, yeah, I got chills. It still makes me want to cry. And I was just like, but I don't understand. The paperwork's signed. The contracts are signed. I don't get it. And they say, well, on the bottom of every single one of those pages, it says contingent on NBC. In other words, we can screw you if we want. Any way we want, anytime. And I was like, okay. And I just said, thank you for the opportunity. And I hung up, and I bawled. I just bawled. I called my girlfriends. Next day, I called my parents, and I was just like, I didn't get the job. And my dad was like, you should get a real job. When are you going to get a real job? You need to get a real job. It's enough with this fitness stuff. 9 to 5. You need it. And I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm following my passion. I like what I'm doing, and I don't know what I want to do for a living, so I'm just going to be a trainer. So next day, when my girlfriends are like, man, you should call him. Give him a piece of your mind. That's bullshit, And I'm like, I had the phone fired up. I'm like, oh, Instead, I called up, and I said, thank you so much for the opportunity. It really, it meant the world to me, and if anything ever comes open again, please give me a call. And they did a year later. They called back the top 50 trainers. So we started the whole process again, and needless to say, long story not so short, is I got the job. And it was awesome. It was so cool. And I didn't believe it till I started the set. The first day I got there, no job training. It was great. They put me on the top of a mountain. They said, here's your zip line. You're going to enter into the set. And I was like, then what? They're like, just go with it. It's reality TV. I was just going to go with it. So it happened, and it started. And I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know anything about it. Next thing I knew, I was primetime NBC. I went from trainer to primetime NBC. Wow, overwhelming, completely crazy. But I was passionate about what I did, and somebody noticed. And that was cool. So I had kind of an aha moment. And I don't know if any of you have ever had this when you're at work. I know a lot of you probably have, because a lot of you are doing some cool stuff. But this is Ken, and he really was one of my clients. And he was on season 3. I mean, look at the guy. He was crazy. And he's got his hair back in a ponytail, but it's really, I'm not kidding you, his hair's like this big. And he weighed 400 and some odd pounds, and he would just come running at me, and his hair would be floating. And I was just like, oh my God, I'm used to training people to get a six-pack. What am I going to do with this guy? And the best part is he would cry all the time. And let me tell you how weird that is for a 5'3", $125 chick to be pulling up a guy who's 450 pounds and bawling. And I was just like, oh my God. So reality TV, it was insane. So I went into the set one day, and I mean, how many of you have seen the show? A lot of you have seen it. It's crazy, right? I mean, screaming, yelling, crying, drama, blah. So I walked in, and they're all sitting there in the room, and they were bawling. And I was like, oh, crap. What am I going to have to clean up today? And Ken, when he cried, he had a really high-pitched voice, too. And he was just like, and I was like, what is it? What's going on today? Please talk to me. And now I'm just trying to flip into psychologist mode and not freak out with him. And he whips out the medical report. And all of a sudden, he's no longer pre-diabetic. He's off his blood pressure medication. No longer had high cholesterol. Insane. And I had a whole team of people with it right there in black and white. And guess who did it? Can I brag? I did. All by myself. No nutritionist. No one else had control over these people but me. I was making up as I went. I knew what I was doing, but still, it's a little bit overwhelming when you're working with people that are 425 or 450 or 500 pounds. Okay, it's not my norm. And most trainers don't have a lot of experience training obese people. Obese people go to doctors. They don't go to trainers. So this was a moment that changed my life forever. Because for the first time, I got to see in black and white the power of proper nutrition and exercise. And, it's just not every day that trainers get to see that. So really changed my life. And for the first time in my life, I realized that I'm not just a trainer. I'm saving lives for a living. And I'm doing exactly what I was meant to do on this earth. And that's a damn cool place to be. It was just a very amazing day. So that's a little bit about me and how I ended up here at Awesomeness Fest. Love it. I always have to throw out a little bit of facts, even though this is kind of dry and boring, and I hate statistics because they just make me squirm, but it's important. So to keep the body in good health is a duty. Otherwise, we shall not be able to keep our minds strong and clear. Buddha said that, and it couldn't be more pinpointed. Like I said in the beginning, if you don't have your health, guys, you don't have anything. So it's really, really important to make sure that you take care of yourself, or else you'll be facing some pretty gnarly statistics. Check it out. So the risk of dying of AIDS is 1 in a million, murder 1 in 10,000, auto accident 1 in 5,000, heart disease 1 in 2. Right? Does it kind of freak you out a little bit? Just not something you really think about or want to think about. So here's the facts. 2/3 of adults are overweight. 1/3 of adults are obese, meaning they have a body mass index of over 30. And less than 1/3 of U.S. adults are a healthy weight. I mean, come on. Really? What do we have control of? 2 things. What we put in our mouth and how much we move our body. So let's try and get that a little bit better. So anyway, I'm not going to harp on it, but these are some of the things that we have to face if we don't take care of ourselves. And another just small personal story. My mom, 65 years old, and she got cancer, breast cancer, when she was 60. And it was devastating. She's overall pretty healthy. You'd look at her and you'd think, wow, this is a healthy lady. She got breast cancer. Amazing recovery. And she's now working towards her black belt in martial arts. My mom can kick my butt, and I'm not kidding you. I mean, she's totally stressed out and frazzled right now because she has to do 60 push-ups in a row for her next test. And I'm like, really, Mom? She's 65, and she's like, I can only do 58 push-ups. Get over it, you know? And so anyway, you can definitely, it's just never too late. Get out your bucket list, you know? Find out what it is, and don't wait till you retire, for God's sakes, to do it. Start now. So the question is, how do we find the balance between work and life and that foundation of health? How do we have time to make time for ourselves? Think about that. So this is just kind of something I put together because I was learning how to use PowerPoint and Keynote, and I thought it was kind of cool that I could put words on rocks. So as you can see here, health is the absolute foundation. And I put health above, right there below family, because if you can't take care of yourself, or if you don't take care of yourself, and if you're not healthy, you can't take care of your family. You can't take care of your kids. And it's so frequent that I see moms or nurses or doctors, they take care of everybody else, but they don't take care of themselves. And it just baffles me. I'm like, really? You're going to spend all this time and energy on your kids, but you can't take care of yourself? Well, what happens when you're not around? Think about it. And then on the other side, I put work and play and dream, and then, I don't know, a little question mark. I thought about putting pets. There wasn't very many words I could fit on that rock. So that's kind of like whatever you want. You know, if you're a pet lover, pet's perfect right there. But, you know, and hopefully work and play can kind of be combined. I mean, I'm working right now. How cool is that? This is so awesome. So that's where I find the balance. So here's some little random philosophies that I hope you guys will kind of think are fun. These are just things that I've come up with over the years. But before I start that, one of my favorite authors says, if you really want to improve your situation, work on the one thing in which you have control, yourself. Okay, so take that to heart. So philosophy number one, why do we take better care of our cars than we do of our bodies? I mean, really, think about it. We put premium gas in our car, but yet we put that in our bodies. Yeah, right? We put synthetic, awesome premium oil in our cars, but we put saturated fat in our bodies, clogging the arteries. We make sure our spark plugs are working, but yet we fuel our bodies for energy with chemicals. I should have put vitamin water in there just for vision. So think about it. I mean, seriously, people, it's neon green. Do you drink that? God, if you do, stop. Seriously, enough with the soda. It's not about the calories. It's not about the sugar. It's about the acid that's just sucking the calcium out of your bones. All right, that's all I'm going to say on that. Just don't drink it. Ugh. Okay, we'll get amazing tires, but yet we only get one pair of feet. You can buy all the tires in the world. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I love my Chucks, but please don't wear them to the gym. Don't wear them when you're out running around. Take care of your feet. So clean your tank. Now, is anybody out here working the medical profession? Oh, God, I tend to offend doctors. So if I do, I'm sorry. I know there's such a place for modern medicine. But when a fish gets sick, what do? You don't take it out of the tank and cram a pill down its throat, do you? Does anybody have fish tanks? Bingo! You fix the environment, okay? You clean the water. You medicate the water. It's brilliant. I mean, gosh, learn something. Get a fish tank if you have to. But clean your environment. When people go to the doctor and they're like, oh, I got high blood cholesterol, I got high blood pressure, of course, the doctor goes, okay, well, yeah, you know, you need to exercise, you need to health. Here's your medication. I would love to see a doctor write, get your ass in gear and exercise. Stop eating fast food and shit. Boom. Take that to the pharmacy. Right? I mean, God, it drives me crazy. I'm on this mission right now, and I swear I'm going to do it one of these days. I'm going to go to a weight loss clinic, and I'm going to be like, I want a prescription, and I'm going to see if I get it for, I don't know, weight loss, right? I mean, what if I'm just curious. I'll let you know how that turns out. Busting your big butts. Okay, I've heard so many of these. Big butts meaning, but I don't have time. Total crap, right? You make time. You make time for things you want to do, okay? Make 30 minutes. Make an hour. Get up early. Just do it. You will be so much better off. You will be surprised how quickly you get addicted. It takes 21 days to form a habit. If you get up 30 minutes early, I mean, just don't hit the snooze button a couple times. Just get up. Do jumping jacks. Start there. Go for a walk. Open your window and get some air in your face and just do something. Start there. So make time. And it always makes me laugh when women tell me this, because I'm like, really? Because we always have time to go shoe shopping, right? Mm-hmm. Too tired. Well, if you work out, you're going to have more energy, so that doesn't work. I'm trying. Trying is lying. If somebody tells me they're trying to lose weight, what the hell does that mean? You either do or you don't. It's the one thing you have control over. Don't try, do it. Too embarrassed. A lot of times, girls think they have big butts in the gym and guys don't think they're lifting enough weight. Get over it. Nobody's looking at you. Nobody cares. My next book is going to be called Nobody is Looking at You. Okay? Just go in there, get it done. You don't know how. If I had an apple in one hand and a Twinkie in the other hand, which one are you going to choose? An apple. You know how. You know how, guys. Move your body and eat healthy. Make healthy decisions. I'm not saying never eat a Twinkie. I'm not saying go as crazy as a Twinkie diet. You guys heard about that? The Twinkie diet guy? That's a whole speech in itself. I won't even go there. I might not come off of that. So I've got this thing called the Big Bounce Theory. Not the Big Bang Theory, but the Big Bounce Theory. I was fascinated with bouncy balls when I was little. I loved them. I collected them. We'd go to this truck stop every Sunday and have pancakes. And it was like the highlight of my life to get a bouncy ball for 25 cents out of the machine. You never know what color you're going to get or how high it's going to be. You just never know. So it's so cool. So to me, bouncy balls have become very symbolic. And I usually bring bouncy balls and throw them out at the audience at this time. So I'm kind of sad right now that I don't have my bouncy balls with me, but I just couldn't fit them with all the baby stuff. So they're just fun to have. I mean, if you don't have one, next time you pass a machine that has them, get one, because they're really symbolic. No matter what you do to a bouncy ball, that thing will keep on bouncing. You can step on it. You can throw it down as hard as you can. The harder you throw it down, the higher it bounces. They never die, ever. It's kind of cool if you think about it. So, and basically the symbolism behind that is think about how many times you failed in your life, and then how many good things have come out of that failure. So you have a choice. You can either bounce or you can splat. So I think bouncy balls are pretty cool. I would choose the bounce. So these are some of my little bounces that I'm just hoping to spur you guys to think about. When something bad happens in your life, grasp that bouncy ball and hold it and know that something better is going to come out of it, because it always, always, always does. How many of you out there have had major failures and end up in a better place? Yeah? I mean, right? It happens. And that's something that's different about this group in here, is that you bounce, you don't splat. And that's powerful. So I had my early midlife crisis, I highly recommend it. I mean, gosh, go for it early, It's like brilliant. And I decided I didn't want to be a pilot. And I ended up being a trainer, worked out, tore my tendon, ended up writing a book. Heart explosion, I don't even call it a heartbreak. It was the end of a 14-year relationship. I was just like, I didn't even know where to begin. So I had this amazing rebound with this huge bodybuilder whom I married and just had a baby with. Yes! So that rebound worked for me quite well. My baby's 6 months old. I'm so excited. So again, if I smell like throw up this entire trip, I'm sorry. We're just in that phase. And then I left TV land. I won't go into why, but it just wasn't right for me anymore. Morally, that show inspires millions, and I realized that, but I couldn't get out of bed and do it for 16 hours a day anymore. It wasn't right. Feeding people 900 calories a day and having them exercise for 16-hour days is pretty jacked up. So, let it inspire you, but know that that is not real. That show is crazy, and what they're doing is crazy. And if you try and lose 15 to 20 pounds a week, you're going to die. And I'm so surprised nobody has on that show yet. But let me tell you what, if anyone does, I'm not going to be a part of it. But it opened up so many doors for me. And I'm not doing anything different now than I was before I was on the show. But I got to do all these crazy things, and people were watching. People were listening now. They're like, that girl knows how to strip thousands of pounds off of people. Well, yeah, of course I do. I mean, I'm a trainer. That's what I do. But most people don't get to do it on TV. So I humbly loved that job, but I was ready to move on to what I didn't know. But it's led to amazing, amazing, amazing things, and I couldn't be happier. The end of the perfect contract. My husband and I had a contract with a nutrition company, and we were just being paid a ton of money to do nothing. This company didn't want to do anything with us. We'd throw out these great ideas, and you're like, let's do this, let's do that, let's do awesome fests, and I had ideas, and nobody wanted to hear them. But I took the paycheck, and I was like, okay, how do you move on from that? Well, that company crumbled, so eeks, okay. So our contract crumbled, and we had 6 months to figure out what the heck we were going to do, because that was my safety cushion after I left TV. So we freaked out. Not only did one of us lose our jobs, but we both did at the same time. And we kept that positive energy, and we thought, you know what? The worst thing that's going to happen is we're going to move out of our big, beautiful home, and we're going to move into a little shack, and we'll still be the same happy two people we were. So what? And once we said, so what, all of a sudden the world was lifted off our shoulders, and we were like, all right, let's go be creative. Let's go do what we want to do for the first time we can, and we're not having this company tell us, no, you're under contract, you can't do that. So it was cool. And since we've obviously found billions of things that we did, all kinds of stuff going on. And that's to be continued. I plan on failing 1,000 more times before I die because I'm going to bounce back even better and see what else is out there. So when you guys have failures and you feel like you just, just think about that bounce theory and know that you're going to get through it and something better is going to come. So taking action. How do we put all these pieces together to find that balance? Now, how many of you out there, and this is like I said, this is a little bit unique crowd for me. How many of you really feel like you have that balance where you want to be with your health and your nutrition and your job? Does anyone have that balance? There's a few of you, and it's okay. I mean, gosh, yeah, if you do, by all means, don't. I'm not going to be like, no, you don't. I think it's awesome. I mean, I would expect that from this crowd, but it's hard. It's really hard. And then as soon as you find the balance, somehow there's always something that comes in and kind of throws it off. I mean, I'm a new mom, and God, man, I'm trying, but my balance is all whacked out right now. You should have seen me this morning. Seriously, it was so funny washing the shampoo out of my hair in the pool. And he just did his first projectile vomit right there in the back of that room. First one, awesome, 5 minutes before my presentation. Wah! It was just like, oh my God, this is not happening. I mean, it was great. Anyway, so it's going to stink back there. So I have 5 P's to good health. The first one is proper exercise. Make it fun. If you don't like to run on the treadmill, don't run on the treadmill. If you don't like to do something, there are 5 billion ways to move your body. Tap into your inner kid. What did you like to do when you were little? Think about those things and go back and do them. Make it fun for yourself. Live. This is actually a bike ride that we did, and I went rappelling. And, we got stuck in the mountains. It was for 16 hours, 300-foot drops. Amazing. We came out at 3 in the morning. Gunter almost killed me, but it was great. And that was a bike ride I did with the Best Buddies Charity Foundation. And it's actually kind of a funny story. They asked me if I wanted to ride the whole race. And I was like, yeah, it was 100 miles along the coast. I thought it would be a beautiful, awesome day. Turns out they were like, no, we need you to be at the stops to just greet people and, cheer them on. I was so bummed. I was like, oh, I don't get to ride. Great. They're like, oh, you can ride the last 20 miles. It turns out, they're like Lance Armstrong people. I mean, I got to the start line at 5 in the morning. These people were like geared up. I'd have been like on my beach cruiser going ready to go. Thank God it worked out. But anyway, I rode the last 20 miles with the Shriver family in Arnold. It was really cool, riding a bike next to the Shriver family. God, they're normal. I don't get it. Proper weight. I'm not going to touch very much on this one. You guys, just get there. Stop trying and get there. That's it. That's all I'm going to say about that. Proper rest. Oh, and by the way, I wrote a book, so it was just a lot easier to pull pictures from the book than to go on iStock photo. I mean, I spent like hours on there, so I don't love myself that much. It was just that easy for me. Thought I'd throw that out there. So anyway, that really is my bed. Those really are my pajamas, and that's my dog, Harley. So proper rest. I love what Vision said yesterday. He doesn't set an alarm clock. He just lets his body get as much rest as it needs. For the first time in my life, I'm able to do that. And that's how I kind of know, I think I'm there. When he said that yesterday, I was like, wow, me too. Me too. I get to do that. I used to set my alarm for like 3 in the morning, get up and drive 2 hours and go, pound people into the ground every day for a living. And I'm like, wow, I get to sleep now. Sometimes I get up at 6. Sometimes I get up at 9. Sometimes I don't go to bed till 1. And I have a baby now. I don't go to bed sometimes at all. But, proper rest is really important. Take a nap if you need to. How great is this photo can we just take a minute and look at my dog, Harley? She really just struck that pose. Love it. That's her Halloween costume. It was too small for Gunter, so I had to put it on Harley. Proper attitude. The best thing I like about attitude is it is contagious. I work with a lot of overweight people, and they come to me and they're like, well, my family doesn't support you or support me. And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, my family doesn't support me in my goals. They sabotage me. And this is the best advice I can give anyone. When you really believe in something, somebody else will too. So if you sit down at a table with somebody who is trying to lose weight and they're like, yeah, I'm having the salad and water, what do you think is going to happen? Everybody else at the table is going to go, well, that sucks. I'm having the French fries. Oh, why would you do that? You're no fun anymore. I've heard it all because I was that girl at one time when I was dieting for shows. I'd be like, yeah, I'm having a dry can of tuna and vegetables. That's what I eat every day, all day, nonstop. And it was, I didn't embrace it. Whereas if I would have said, yeah, I'm doing this fitness competition and it's amazing. I have complete control over my body and I'm watching myself just sculpt and it's really cool and my workouts are awesome and I love it. Everybody else would have jumped on the bandwagon with me. But instead they're like, oh my God, she has to eat tuna and vegetables every day. Ugh, I'm not doing what she's doing. And it doesn't have to be that extreme, but just try it sometime. Order that side salad with the most enthusiasm that you possibly can and watch how many people follow you. Whereas if you order it with a bad attitude, nobody else is going to order that. They're going to order the onion rings triple size. So just have a good attitude about what you're doing and be thankful that you can eat healthy and that you can exercise. Proper nutrition, which pretty simple, but I'm going to give you guys 5 keys. And I promise you, if you follow these, you will be on track. There is so much bullshit dieting tips out there, and there is no way to sugarcoat it. I mean, I'm a trainer, and I listen to some of these diets, and I'm like, what? Don't eat fruit? Don't eat grains? Don't eat nuts? I mean, there's just thousands of different diets that just try and tell you not to eat this food. Where's the don't eat processed crap diet? Where's that book? I'm going to write it. So, let thy food be thy medicine, and let thy medicine be thy food. Okay? That's simple. I mean, the guy was brilliant. Let's listen to him. So the 5 simple keys. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit about this Fast Track website. It's Fast Track to Fat Loss, and it's just something that's really cool for me right now because it's a totally, we got a fan over here. She told me she's on the Fast Track. I thought that was awesome. But a couple years ago, this guy named Chad Tackett emailed me, and I get a lot of emails like this, and he was basically like, hey, I'm this web dude, blah, 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 blah. I'd love to work with you. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever, training people on the website. Awesome, good luck with that. Sell them some shit and hope they do it. Good luck. So I kind of was like closed-minded to it. I was like, no, I'm not going to do this. But it just wouldn't go away in my head. His email kept going through my head. So I was like, you know what, dadgummit, listen to your gut. It's never done you wrong. And I did. And I picked up the phone. I called him. He wasn't real good on the phone, kind of quiet. And I was like, oh, I don't know. And he says, you know what, I'm going to be in Palm Springs. Come meet me. I was like, great, I'm going to get killed in Palm Springs. So I bring my big husband. Anyway, I met with the guy, and super amazing, brilliant dude. It was like he thought like I did, just in the way with nutrition and exercise. He didn't have any gimmicks. He didn't have anything. He believed in helping people educate themselves, exercise, and eat healthy. And I was like, okay, I get that part of it. I don't know how the heck you're going to put it on the internet. And he goes, just trust me. And I thought, oh, great, here we go again. Hollywood, trust. You know, that if you live anywhere close to Hollywood, the word trust you just means look out. So I kind of was scared, but deep in my heart, it was like my goal, my big vision for what I want for my life is to work with people I can trust and people that I like. I've done enough of the other, and I don't want to do that anymore. I want to work with people I like because it makes it fun. Get rid of all the people you don't like that you work with. Just get rid of them. Negative. So I trusted my gut, and I tell you what, this is the most amazing thing that's ever happened to me. I thought training people on NBC was cool, but people that are on Fast Track, they're succeeding. We just had our first 100-pound success story. And they're not doing it because trainers are pulling them out of bed for 12 hours a day and kicking their butts. They're doing it on their own. They're learning. And we're there for them. We're holding them accountable. We're training them. We're teaching them. And it is cool. So anyway, it's not for everybody, I realize, but it's cool. If you know somebody that needs some help, or if you guys want to check it out, that's my new baby, other than that one that's squealing in the back. So the first key, these are all really simple. Just expend more calories than you consume. I'm not big on counting calories. Who wants to count calories all day? I don't. No way. I have a hard enough time doing math back in school. I don't want to have to sit there and count calories all day. Do you want to be aware? Absolutely. You should be aware, but you don't want to count them. And a good rule of thumb is the portion size of the amount of carbs you should eat should be about the size of your fist. Your protein should be about the size of the palm of your hand. Your fats about the size of your thumb. Each meal. It's that simple. So you can kind of see, especially in America, how out of whack our portion sizes are. I mean, have you been to the Cheesecake Factory? Seriously? I mean, I get like 10 meals out of one. It's like I get to go there and I get a week's worth of food. It's great. So just be aware of what you're eating, but you want to make sure that you just expend more calories than you consume. Move your body all day long. Be excited to be alive. Take the stairs instead of the escalators. How many of you are programmed? You go to the elevator, beep, the stairs are right there. But this is a program. You go to the airport, empty stairs, everybody's on the escalator. There's me with my little carry-on walking up the stairs, and this is what it looks like it. Or, people look at you so weird when you take the stairs. Try it. I'm serious. It's really funny, and it's just a rule I have. I travel a lot, so I make sure I never take those people movers because, you watch the flow of traffic, and it's the same thing with the escalator. You watch the flow of traffic, your body's just like, you're sucked onto those little people mover things. Avoid them. Walk. Use your legs. You're going to sit your butt on an airplane for hours. Walk. Rule number 2, choose natural carbs over processed. Enough with the carb confusion, people. Enough. Eat carbs, okay? Eat your fruits, eat your vegetables, eat your starchy carbs that, have some pasta. It's okay. But try and go with foods that are all natural. If you can't read the ingredient, do you really want to eat it? Do you really want to eat something that's going to live longer on a shelf than you do? Gross. Okay, so eat natural things, just natural foods. It's really that simple. And another trick that I tell people is eat your starchy carbs before 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Eat your breads, eat your pastas, eat your oats and rice and things like that. Just eat them early in the day. And then at night, veer towards the salads and the vegetables and the proteins. And we're kind of backwards. Is most everybody from U.S. in here? Or we have kind of people from everywhere, huh? Well, I guess I speak more to the U.S. when I say we're kind of backwards with the salads. I know Europe has this a little bit better, but we have a big salad for lunch, and then we go home at night and we're starving, okay? No diet's going to work if you have a big salad for lunch. Stop with the rabbit food. Have a nice balanced salad with some meat at night and a bunch of steamed veggies, and go with the rice and the pasta in the afternoon, okay? Europeans, brilliant. They have their big meal in the afternoon. Follow that. 3, include a protein source at every meal. Now, here's the thing about protein. It's not that it's just good for you. It helps to repair your muscles, and it also helps to keep your blood sugar stable. 3 o'clock in the afternoon, how many of you guys get that massive crash? Oh, come on, you liars. I know you get it. Everybody gets that 3 o'clock afternoon crash every once in a while. So the thing with that is that you're not keeping your blood sugars level. If you eat proteins throughout the day, it'll help keep your blood sugar stable so that you can avoid that massive crash in the afternoon. So eat protein. I don't even care if it's a handful of almonds. That's a protein. I had a hard-boiled egg for a snack. You can always find something. Greek yogurt, perfect. Drink water. Got mine over there. Everybody in here should have water with them, okay? So incredibly important. Your body is 77% water, and we don't drink enough of it. 96 ounces a day, okay? Measure that out. It's a lot of water. Love it. He's like, I'm drinking water. I've seen everybody drinking water. Yes. You guys, it's huge. It's huge. If you don't hydrate your body, how do you expect it to run? You don't expect your car to run with no gas. Why do you not give your body hydration? Especially here when we're out in the sun and everything, you're sitting there, and you can't just go home at night and guzzle a bunch. You need to drink it slowly throughout the day so that it can absorb into your body. It's the fuel of life. Put away the chemical crap and drink water. Drink tea. Drink good, wholesome foods or liquids. And the last one, always plan and prepare your meals in advance. One of my favorite sayings is, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. It's pretty rare that you catch me anywhere without some food on me. I pretty much always have an apple or some almonds or granola bars in my glove box because who doesn't have that moment when you're starving and you come in the house, and if you don't have something ready, you're going to go straight for that bag of potato chips, or you're going to go for the quickest fix you can, and usually it's not something healthy. So plan ahead. Go all the way back to the grocery store. Plan things that are healthy. Have healthy snacks. When you get home, cut them up. Have them ready. Cut your meat into regular little portion sizes and have it ready so it's easy just to cook. I take one day out of the week and cook a ton of food. I'm feeding that big boy back there. Well, 2 boys now. So, I always make sure that I have a ton of food on hand. I'll make oatmeal. My husband's going to go home. No, she doesn't. Rice, quinoa, all kinds of things. I make 5 or 6 carbs. I make 5 or 6 proteins. I have them all in my Tupperware, and then it's as simple as mix and match all the time. It's great. It's a great system, and literally if you take 2 hours, it'll just be a big help. So, bottom line is, just remember, people are like sticks of dynamite. The power's on the inside, but nothing happens until the fuse gets lit. So, I hope I've lit a few fuses in here today. to get you guys fired up to take 100% investment in yourself and your body. Because remember, if you don't have your health, none of this other great stuff means anything. All right? So any questions? Do you guys have any questions at all? That just something, nutrition or exercise or Biggest Loser or anything? Anything?
How do I get a six-pack?
Rewind. See me after the presentation. I'll be happy to get it for you. I will make you cry. Yes. Have I what?
Plane yet?
Flown a plane. Yeah, actually, I am a instrument rated. I've got my private license and my instrument rating, and I was halfway through my commercial rating when I just chucked that. And no, I haven't flown since that day. But I will go back to it. I'll do it, but for fun. And I'll probably teach Jake how to fly. So, or either that just so my dad doesn't, lose it before, oh, my poor dad. Yeah.
What about... Hello? Yeah, what about the pH level in water? Just before coming down here, there's a gentleman, he's a fitness advocate guy. He's very educated and actually showed Corrine here and I the difference in just regular water versus...
Yes.
You must know about the pH.
Yes, Kangen water is what you're referring to, and the pH balance of tap water is, I believe, around 6.5 to 7. And what these Kangen water machines, you'll see them popping up all over the world, phenomenal. They will take the pH water level to 8.5 to 9.5. I am a huge believer in it. I personally drink nothing but Kangen water. We have the machine at home. The machine costs actually about $5,000. There's different caliber levels of them. And it's worth the investment. Cancer cannot grow in an alkaline environment. So many of our foods are so acidic that what's happening is our bodies become an acidic bath pool. And when you drink the pH water, it just helps to bring that pH of your body to a safer level. So,
and another thing you mentioned earlier about the calcium.
Yes.
It's really important because if you're drinking water that's less than your pH balance in your body,
exactly,
it has to take calcium out to supplement or to compensate.
Yeah, and it does. It just detoxes your body. And an interesting story about that. I actually, I wasn't a big believer in this Kangen water. I had the guy come over, and I wouldn't even listen to his spiel. I was just like, dude, no. I get so much stuff. I was like, no. I drink water. I'm good. I don't want to hear about that. And I've since changed that mentality a little bit. I'm a lot more open to hearing about things because I think it's fascinating, and I think they're really on something with the Kangen water. But I believe it changes the size of the molecules so that the water flushes in and out of your cells faster. And my husband was taking Coumadin because he had a blood clot, and it was they tell you if you're taking medication on the Kangen water that you really you need to take that with tap water. So he was taking. I hope you don't mind I'm telling the story, honey. But he was taking the Coumadin, and all of a sudden he went into the doctor's eyes were all bloodshot, and they were like, "Holy cow, your blood is so thin. What are you doing? What have you changed?" And he's like, "Nothing. I'm not eating the vitamin K. I'm not doing anything. Everything should be fine." The only thing he had changed is he was drinking the Kangen water. And the doctor said, well, we need to up your medication big time. And Gunter was like, well, why don't I cut down the medication and keep on the water? And so that's what they did, and it balanced out. So, it was proven right there that, it really was absorbing in a lot better. So I'm a big believer in it. If you guys have a chance, just even Google Kangen water and have somebody show you. It's great. What's that? It's Kangan. Yeah, I hate to say this. Maybe it's not so healthy, but amazing. Like, if I drink a lot, I get hungover for like a week. And literally, we were out at this big 6-man volleyball tournament. It's phenomenal. Craziness on the beach. And, I had one too many margaritas. And completely hungover the next day. I was like, I'm going to feel like crap for like a week now. And literally drank like one bottle of Kangen water. Fine. Instantly. It rehydrated my body like that. It was phenomenal. I don't know if I should tell that, but whatever. It's true. Yeah. We'll get to you next. Oh, here we go. Hang on.
I actually have 2 questions. Do you take any supplementary?
Supplements?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I take, obviously, a multivitamin. I love the emergency packets. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, the little mineral packets. And ZMA, zinc magnesium complex. I take that at night for sleep, and it also helps with the testosterone levels. So supplements are, I do feel that there is a powerful place for them. I do not think you should take a ton. stick with the basics. Once you you go into a nutrition store, and I mean, you can find like a whole basket full of things that are going to save your life. Keep it to a minimum. I like to say take 3 things and, find out what you're deficient on. Vitamin D is a big buzz now. Everybody's like, oh, deficient vitamin D. Find out if you're getting enough. Look at the back of your cereal. Look at your, your cartons. Look at everything. Chances are you're getting enough, but there are some people that are not getting enough. But you need to take balance and find, or take note and find the balance of what you personally need. If you're, lacking energy and you're doing all the other things that you need to do, maybe it's vitamin B. Take the time to educate yourself and find what you're missing.
And the other question is, you just mentioned you trained a lot of obese people for free. So how did you keep them going? Because somebody said to me, if people are paying for something, they would appreciate, and they just keep going because of the money that they paid.
Yeah.
But if you give your knowledge for nothing, so how?
That's actually a really good question, because that was a big struggle. Is I haven't had very many people quit on me, but you're right. When people pay, and now I'm not going to lie, I charge an arm and a leg to most of my clients because they can pay it, and I know they want it. So when people come to me and I throw out a big number and they're just like, oh, forget it, then I know they don't want it bad enough, because it goes back to, if there's a will, there's a way. If somebody comes to me and I genuinely know that they can't pay for it and they need it and they want it bad enough, my rates become affordable really quickly. But before, when I was working with people, and I was just, for some reason I had this energy about me that people would gravitate towards me that really wanted it. And I was just really fortunate that I didn't get very many schmucks that would come to me and go, I want to lose weight. I got people who were like, I need help. And I don't know, it must have just been an energy that I was putting out that also helped people come to me. And also there's the elimination of the fear factor. I think a lot of times people quit because they're scared. They're scared of failing. And with me, people could see my success rate all around me. They could not only see the changes in my body when I was competing, they could see me go from average to shredded, but they could also see my clients changing, whereas other people in the gym would come in day after day after day and nothing would change. My clients would be on a 12-week program and they would change like that. So I kind of eliminated that fear factor for people, and that also was something that invited people in and just said, okay, I need help. So I've just been really fortunate with that. I mean, I've had a few people quit, but they don't want it bad enough. I can't help you if you don't want to help yourself. So, all right. Thanks, guys. And if you have any questions, I'll be around all weekend. So.